Good morning, everybody. We are at the third day of FDP on Six Sigma. So it's the middle day, as Buddha says. Middle path is the most important criteria in life. So he emphasis on the middle path. So we are at the middle of our FDP on Six Sigma, and today we have today in the morning we have a speaker from SIT Tumkur, Dr. Rajeshwar S. Kadadevar who did his master's degree in production management from Karnataka University, Dharwad, and he obtained his PhD from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, Anna University in December 2018 on modeling and analysis of multi-echelon supply chain architecture using
Amal close
PSO
problem.
algorithms. Sir is presently working as a professor and former head in the Department of Industrial Engineering and Management, uh, SIT, Tumkur, Karnataka. So the primary areas of interest of research are in supply chain
Present
management,
ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ
mathematical designing, modeling and analysis, application of new heuristics like particle swarm algorithms and genetic algorithms, decision making and decision support systems, revenue management, etc. Sir has a wide variety of interests in the area of industrial engineering and management. So presently he is the editor, International Journal of Business and Systems Research, which is a Scopus indexed Elsevier journal. He is also editor board member, International Journal of Revenue Management, Scopus Index. He is also editor board member, Journal of Industrial Engineering and Management, uh, Los Angeles, USA. Sir has a lot of publications to his credit. He published a book on practical applications of PSO and supply chain network optimization, Lab Lambert Academic Publishing, Germany. Published 6 special issues, lead guest editor in International Journal of Business and Systems Research. He has published 52 research papers in international refereed journals. All of them are Scopus indexed. He has published 105 papers in research, 105 research papers in national and international conferences. He was invited by New York University, USA, to participate as a chairperson in International Editorial Meet in International Conference on Applied Business and Economics, 2nd to 4th of October 2013. Presented paper in International Conference on Applied Business and Economics, New York University, New York. He has attended around 60 short-term training programs. Has been awarded with a Outstanding International Faculty Award by Venus International Foundation, VIFFA, in the year 2015. He has also got an appreciation award in 2013 by Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering Chapter, Bangalore. He acted as organizing committee member for technical program committee, member for international conferences organized by various universities in India, USA, China, etc. So he has a lot of interest in research since 2008. He has a research collaboration with the Professor Jason C.H. Cheng, Gonzaga University School of Business Management, United States of America, Professor Emmanuel Edinburgh, the University of Texas, USA, then Professor Navaneet Vidharthi, Concordia University, John Malslon School of Business, Canada, then Professor Erwin ABD Rahim, Precision Machining Research Center, Malaysia. Dr. Chen Xiao Yu, Professor, Department of Shipping and Transportation Management, National Taiwanian Ocean University, Taiwan. And also, one of the most important thing is a good friend of Basaveshwar Engineering College, Department of Industrial and Production Engineering, and also I am proud to say that he is also alumni of Basaveshwar Engineering College. Sir will be speaking on application of Six Sigma in supply chain management. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Hearty welcome to all the participants. First of all, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to Professor Javalgi, IP Department, and Professor Chaya Lakshmi, coordinator of this workshop, and management, Basveshwar Engineering College, Bagalkot, for providing me an opportunity to share my little knowledge and experience of teaching and industry collaboration of Lean, Six Sigma, and supply chain practices. I observed that the participant list provided by the coordinator, there are around 500 participants from 46 polytechnic colleges and 130 engineering colleges, and the 10 from industries and 25 research scholars. And probably the participants are from various domains or programs like electronics, computer science, information science, IT, IP, mechanical, and civil engineering. Whereas the IP, mechanical, and management faculty, they are well versed with these methodologies. And obviously, the other domain faculty, they are not aware of manufacturing practices. But this is must for every faculty so that we can dissipate this knowledge to the students and they will be our future Six Sigma belts in the industry, where when they become managers, irrespective of the domain. Keeping this in mind, I have prepared my presentation so that every faculty in the workshop will understand the basics of Lean, Six Sigma, and supply chain, cutting edge practices, and technology used by the Fortune or world class industries in the world. Sir, presentation is visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Visible?
Absolutely no problem. Everything is perfect, sir. You can
Okay,
continue.
thank you. So this is what the outline of my presentation. The first, I will be discussing about the present challenges for the businesses in the global market. After that, I will be talking about the basic concepts involved in supply chain management and also the lean manufacturing and how the quality has been evolved, and the Six Sigma methodology also evolved over the years of 40 to 50 decades, and how these lean and Six Sigmas concepts are being applied in supply chain management, and also the implementation and success stories I'll be discussing. The present challenges of the businesses in global market. Okay, the today's we are staying in a global village where there's a huge competition among the multinational companies, and they are able to handle the following challenges: how to reduce the total cost of the supply chain operating cost, logistics cost, reducing lead times, and increasing the customer service level, and how to improve the product quality level. These are all the challenges that presently every industries are facing. And the world-class organizations now realize that the non-integrated manufacturing processes, non-integrated distribution processes, and poor relationship with the suppliers and customers are the inadequate for the success. The present challenges, along with those, the corporate leaders are facing unpredictable, chaotic markets. Okay, the market is highly turbulent, violent, and we cannot predict. It is very uncertain. And also the market demand, the products, the technology, the competitive behavior, political conditions are changing very rapidly, very frequently. The customer tastes have been changed, okay, and they are expecting every day the different style, feature, performance. The customer expectations are huge. So, and the society and the market is highly uncertain. And also the sudden globalization, that is World Trade Organization negotiation made, the export and import policies have been changed drastically. so as to take place the business across the globe. And quantitative restrictions are off, tariff barriers are dropping, and proactive efforts to bring the foreign capital into their own countries. Okay, in this context, even our Prime Minister Modi ji is very much interested to bring the foreign capital, foreign businesses, foreign manufacturing plant to the India, and requires the high responsiveness from the industries to meet these global challenges and also to compete our Indian industries with multinational companies. And these are some of the projections which has been made by the NASSCOM and also some the industrial magazines. The NASSCOM leaders unanimously agreed that the Indian market has reached the next level of maturity and it is growing like anything. And by 2025, the IT services swell five folds, that is to the $157 billion annual export industries. And the global trade in manufacturing products is projected from $4,500 billion to $9,000 billion by 2025. More than half of the Fortune 500 companies are already outsourcing work to India. Due to this COVID-19, the many countries are thinking of shifting their manufacturing plants, locations, and businesses from the China to India. And India is very niche in engineering. And India is predicted as a manufacturing hub for the whole world in future. And this COVID-19 is exceptional. Okay, it is a short-term scenario. By another 6 months, okay, we'll be in the previous situation where we can do business as we used to do it, and as the every country is going to be projected to reach to their GDPs. Okay, don't link this COVID-19 with this present business predictions. Okay, and hence the supply chain reliability is most important in this context projections. And as I already told you that the whole world is targeting, okay, for its business process outsourcing to the India. Hence, our Indian companies, okay, need to promise to deliver the quality products. Okay, the workshop which is arranged, that is Six Sigma philosophy, it talks about the quality of the products and the quality of the services to the clients and the customers at the right time. Okay, it is important. Okay, when they providing these quality products and quality services at the right time to the customer hand is important. In this situation, in this scenario, okay, we need to defend their trust in the business, and we need to defend their brands, and we need to defend our products, we need to defend our markets, we need to defend our market share, we need to defend our profits. Okay, at the same time, we need to improve our processes to ppm level. According to the report published by the World Economics Forum, the Indian economy has taken a big leap, and India has reached 40th rank in the group of 137 countries in the International Competitive Index. Okay, at the present we are at the 40th rank. Okay, but the Prime Minister Modi's vision is somewhat rank to the top level. Okay, with this, the present scenario of the businesses and the present challenge of the businesses in the global market. Ensuring the competitiveness in today's global connected marketplace, okay, is very demanding and calls for different strategies. Okay, these strategies are not static. Okay, they have to be highly different. We need to play a different strategies every time in the business to compete with the multinationals. Okay, and the business which we are employed the strategies in the previous, they cannot be applicable to today's businesses. The today's businesses have become more adaptive to the change, more flexible to the change because of the market expectation, or because of the market uncertainty, or the market the turbulence, or the market violence. Okay, in order to stay competitive, our companies need to better handle the fluctuations in ever-changing market and their competitors. The cultural shift can come from the bottom, cannot come from the bottom up. It needs to come from the top. Executive support, key drive to the change in the mindset of the people. Okay, so even we are talking about the Six Sigma implementation, where the top executive support is most important. Okay, for any improvement of the process. So in this context, the Anshu Sharma has told about this. And the big shift is that industries are moving from being product driven to the purpose driven. The older scenario was product driven. Now the purpose driven industries. Okay, this was told by the Rajesh Gopinathan, CEO of Tata Consultancy. And it is no longer the survival of the fittest, the Darwinian principle, but the survival of fastest. How fast we tune our businesses to the present global changes. Okay, the agility of the market. Okay, then only we'll survive in the business. Okay, the survival of the fastest. That means. And the following are the various manufacturing strategies. Okay, so to meet all the above challenges which I discussed so far, how to meet these challenges of multinational companies? The best manufacturing practices are the supply chain management, the lean manufacturing, agile, flexible manufacturing, okay, and the quality approaches like total quality management, the Six Sigma, and zero defect practices, and the new technology that is ERP, e-business, okay, the supply chain softwares, and Industry 4.0, and the digital marketing. Okay, the presently the all manufacturing industries are striving hard for Industry 4.0 and Quality 4.0. So the Industry 4.0 talks about the cloud computing, how this cloud computing technology is being implemented as business practices or business processes. Okay, so there is a present day the industry people are talking about all these technologies or all these cutting edge practices. Okay, this is a traditional manufacturing scenario, okay, during 1990s and before. Okay, as you know that all the manufacturing organizations consist of design departments, material department, production planning, production department, marketing, HR, finance, and so on. Okay, earlier these departments used to work under isolation. Okay, they used to optimize their own department optimization. They never talk to the other department. See, for example, the materials manager wanted to buy the raw materials for a cheaper rate, so he used to buy in lots or in bulk. Okay, the irrespective of the quantities being purchased, he used to buy a lot of used materials. Okay, that material is being to be used for under 3 years or 4 years. Okay, that's what most of the Indian industries used to practice before 1990. Okay, they wanted to optimize their purchase cost irrespective of the material storage, which is for 3 years. This is not the way to buy the material. Okay, we need to take into account of the inventory carrying cost, inventory ordering cost, and other cost. Okay, they are more, they are huge. The naturally the profit earned by the organization will be less. Okay, so like this, every department, okay, and take an example of production. They used to manufacture the products in mass, whether the products are needed by the market or not. They are not worried. Just produce, and keep it in the market. Okay, unnecessarily that is waste of money. The Japanese philosophy tells 1:10:100. What do you mean by one? Okay, when there is no demand in the market, okay, so don't produce anything. Okay, keep raw materials as raw material. We're going to lose 1 rupee. Suppose if you stop production in between, okay, we're going to lose 10 rupees when there is no demand in the market. Okay, so if you produce 100%, okay, and keep it in the market when there is no demand, we're going to lose 100 rupees. Okay, can you tell me which is better? Losing 1 rupee is better, losing 100 rupee. Okay, so losing 1 rupee is better. Okay, when there is a demand, then only produce. Okay, but the 1990 scenario before that was completely different. Okay, so this is what the older concept of manufacturing industries. So that's why, so the after 1990, 95, 96 around, the many industries, big giants in India, okay, like some of the industries, Kirloskar Industries, HMT, Tumkur Watch Factory, Mysore Lamp, NGF, they are very big industries in the country. Now you don't know what are those industries. Okay, they have been closed down because of this traditional practice. They were not in a position to tune up their business practices to the present. So the traditional manufacturing practice. This is what the average survey has been made. The manufacturing cost was contributed to 48%, and 27% of the cost is contributed for marketing, and 21% is for the logistics, and for only the profit earned was 4%. Okay, so the present businesses or the CEOs or the strategic players in the market. So they are thinking that there is a huge scope of reducing these costs at the manufacturing level, at the marketing level, at the logistic level by using the advanced cutting edge technologies in the business. The good decisions, okay, with the supply chain network are increasingly being recognized as a crucial competitive factor today. The simple supply chain definition, okay, the SIMCHI-Levy has defined the supply chain as the set of approaches, okay, which have been utilized efficiently to integrate suppliers, manufacturers, warehouses, stores, so that the merchandise is produced and distributed at the right quantity to the right location at the right time in order to minimize the system wide cost while satisfying the customer requirement. It is the definition of SIMCHI-Levy, who has written the supply chain management book. Okay, and the supply chain is nothing but, okay, we have supplier is called as the stage 1, manufacturer is the stage 2, wholesaler distributor stage 3, then retailers and customers. So these are all called the supply chain stages. Okay, the left hand side, that is suppliers, we call as the upstream side, and the right side where the customers are there, we call it as downstream. And there are three types of flows taking place. One is information flow, so it takes place between both sides, and the goods flow that moves from both the sides, because from it moves from left side to the right side. The raw material is being purchased and between the goods are being made ready and it's being dispatched to the customers. And the revenue flow, okay, and the money flow. So like this, there are different types of flows being used in the supply chain. Okay, so that is a simple supply chain which I had shown. To take the scenario of the supply chain network, and I'll give an example of Toyota Kirloskar. Okay, there are thousands of suppliers for them to supply for the Biddi plant. Okay, and there are around 10 manufacturing locations across the globe, and there are thousands of distributors. Okay, and lakhs together demand markets are there. So all these stages are being connected by the use of information technology, the use of supply chain software, the use of ERP tools. So all these suppliers, manufacturers, distribution centers, and retailers are being integrated by the technology. Okay, and the network becomes so complex. Okay, we'll not be knowing what amount of material to be purchased from which supplier and which is economical. And we don't know who has to manufacture what quantity, which plant what quantity, and where to serve, which distribution center, which retailer. We cannot, okay, we cannot imagine the complexity of this supply chain network. But because of the information technology, because of the artificial intelligence, because of the softwares, we are able to figure out the all these optimized parameters. Okay, I'll be discussing in the future slides, next coming slides, about these, how the supply chain is going to be optimized. The objectives of the supply chain management. Okay, so to minimize the overall supply chain cost, at the same time we need to meet the demand in the market. Okay, and the total cost of the supply chain comprises of raw material and other acquisition costs, inbound transportation cost, that is nothing but the material moved from supplier to the plant and within the plant, it's called as inbound transportation, and the direct indirect manufacturing costs, and the direct indirect distribution center costs, and also the inventory holding cost, and the cost of the rework and reduction, cost of the wastages, and inter-facility transportation cost, etc., and the facility investment cost. So this all the cost, okay, is the supply chain cost. How to reduce each cost in the supply chain is a challenging job for the present managers. Challenging job for the presenting managers, because the companies have been rationalized their businesses worldwide. Okay, and the firms have been asked these questions: how many plants to set up, where to be located, how much quantity of the each plant to be built, what products to be manufactured in which plant, what demand reason should be met by each plant and served, and which vendors to serve each plant, which parts to be procured from which vendor. So many challenges are there for present day supply chain managers. Okay, so in this context, okay, to answer for the previous slide, for the supply chain complexity, we need to optimize the supply chain network. Okay, the supply chain network softwares are available, the ERP softwares are available, artificial intelligence tools are available, business intelligence is available to optimize all these decision variables. Okay, they are called as the decision variables. Okay, in the optimization problems. Okay, when and how much raw material to be ordered, what quantity to be ordered. Okay, and when the manufacturers to be started, and when and how much product is to be shipped to the customer and distribution centers. So they are called as the decision variables. And the constraints, they are limited to the supply capacity, the production capacity, the distribution capacity. They have got their own capacity. Beyond that capacity, we cannot. Okay, say for example, the Toyota production. Okay, they manufacture around 150 Crista every day. So that is their capacity. If you order for 2,250 per day, the Crista production, they cannot, because the capacity of the plant is 150 every day. So like this, the supplier to supply their raw materials, they have got their own limitations. Okay, so these constraints are called as the limitations for the optimization problem. And the optimization is whether we need to maximize the profit, whether we need to minimize the total cost of the supply chain. So like this, we need to build an optimization model, and we need to use softwares, and we get the decision variables. If you adopt those decision variable, the quantity, how much quantity to be purchased, on which the supplier, the material to be ordered, and which plant, what quantities to be produced, and which plant has to serve for which warehouses, and which warehouse to supply to which dealers, and dealers which they need to send it to the retailers. All these figures are the decision variables we're going to obtain by the softwares or by the artificial intelligence tools. okay, we use as a business manager. Okay, so I need to get the solution in a split of seconds because I need to play for tomorrow or today. Okay, I cannot use the same concepts or philosophy for another 6 months or another year. So the every day they keeps changing, every month keeps changing this, the manufacturing schedule, the demand uncertainty, everything keeps changing. Only the tool is information technology. With that, we can survive. We can do the optimized solutions by using the softwares of the supply chain. Then these are some of the decision phases which we use in the supply chain, called as supply chain strategy is the first phase, supply chain planning, and supply chain operations. Okay, these are three phases, decision phases of supply chain. The first phase, that is supply chain strategy, this decides about the structure of the supply chain. Okay, and these are all long-term decisions. These are all called as the long-term decisions. Okay, the strategic supply chain decisions are, for example, the identification of the locations for manufacturing, and need to decide about capacities for each locations, and capacities for suppliers, capacities for warehouses, capacities for distribution centers, and the modes of transportation system, and modes of information technology, modes of information platform, information software. All these decisions have to be made at the top level, called as supply chain strategy or supply chain design. The next phase is supply chain planning. The supply chain planning decisions are short term. They are based on yearly decisions, whereas the previous supply chain strategy design, it is for 20 years, 25 years, 50 years. Okay, the planning, that is strategic planning. Whereas the supply chain planning is for short term, that is yearly decisions, that is which markets to be supplied, what quantity, from which plant, what is the inventory to be built up, what material to be subcontracted, what are the backup locations, what are the inventory policies. So these are all the things how to be decided, taking into the consideration of the market uncertainty and the exchange rates and the competitions over the time. The third phase is supply chain operations. So these are all daily, weekly, monthly decisions, and this includes, okay, the day-to-day scheduling of the production, the purchase of the